version of me.
Lois Lane. Yes, she is. Welcome to Comics League Dark. I am Jared. The guys will be here soon. But today, oh boy, did we get a lot of news. What's up, Cameron? Oh God, did we get a lot of BS today, this week? Oh my God. So let's start with so today on today's on today's agenda, we have the Supergirl trailer, the Lanterns teaser. What's up, NJ? Lego Batman, the Knights of the Old Republic sequel, and really anything that we would like to talk about. So let's go up and start with Supergirl. What do you say we start with Supergirl? All right. And again, the guys will be here soon. So Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the movie. Here's the thing about it. So I watched it, and I have a couple of issues with this, chief among them. So, and actually a friend of mine, Pomegranate, shout out to them, brought up something very interesting when I was talking to them about this. What they said is, look, the thing about the comic that works, and I agree with them, even though I hate the comic, I have it because I got a bunch of DCU books that I'm going to review for the channel. But anyway, the thing about this is that this is like cosmic and fantasy like combined, like knights and dragons and pirate ships and stuff. The trailer just went full sci-fi and like cut that out. It's like they even didn't even have like the pirate ship thing. It's just like a what's the word? A battleship. Yeah, because this is the ship. I'm skeptical. It is Screaming Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the other thing. Because Gunn keeps saying that, like, oh yeah, each of these movies is going to be like an individual graphic novel, and the way that like each one has their own feel and look and stuff. But I'm like, if all of them are feeling just like yours, are they really that unique? I mean, I'm sorry, that just doesn't really work. But regardless, in terms of like, now the part that really interests me is the idea that with the that according to what I heard, so really what it is they're taking the story and doing their own version of it. Like they're rewriting a bunch of Tom King. Also, I don't want to nitpick, but does Kara work for this type of setting regardless of the comic? See, here's the thing about the Woman of Tomorrow book. It's an interesting story. It's just a really crappy Supergirl story. It's not a Supergirl book. So it's like everyone that talks about how it's one of the best books and stuff for Supergirl. I go, no, it's not. It really isn't. Do you think Anna has had any influence on it on her own, or Gunn straight up copied the book? From what I saw, it looks like she's taking the good parts of the book and putting them together, because again, from what I heard about what this is, they're taking the general idea of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and then all they're doing is they're taking that and using that as the basis for the story. So again, this will be the test for Anna, NJ. If she can make this story actually pretty good, because hey, he could, then you know what? I think Wonder Woman is safe. I know that's why you're asking that. But yeah, so the chief thing that I really didn't like about the trailer is Krypton looked very bland. It looked like generic sci-fi ancient city. And I get 100%, I understand that you want to give like each version of Krypton its own unique look. The problem is when the unique look that you're going for is a dramatic downgrade compared to what we had in like Man of Steel and such. That's when I'm like, okay, because when you look at Man of Steel, that Krypton had like character and it had like so much there was so much that made it Krypton and that made it straight up sci-fi. This just looks like a straight up, actually, you know what, I'll pull it up, Supergirl trailer. What we're gonna do is I will go through the trailer like frame by frame so we can like do this, so we can do this without getting like copyright dinged. When Kara says that the gods are not that kind, we could be getting Kryptonian lore, because I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, and that's straight up from the comic, and that's the good lines from the trailer. I was like, oh, I like this. Okay, so here is the, let me just close this. Here is the trailer. So I'm going to go to where it shows Krypton. Also, Krypto peeing on Superman. I'm like, I don't really think I dig that. So we see this shit, and I don't like the party girl Kara for our first Supergirl movie in 40 years. Yes, in Man of Steel, it did feel like an alien planet. This one just feels, hang on, I'm getting there. By the way, Momoa as Lobo, like, wow. Right, so that's the ship. And then it's like, yeah, he's born to play Lobo. Let me put it to you that way. Hang on, I'm trying to find the Krypton look, because that's where I really have issues. All right, so here is, hang on. Yeah, you see, it looks like generic sci-fi city, like from any, like, he looks like he's from like The Expanse, right? Like that. There's nothing from this that makes it look like any unique look on Krypton. So I'm like, it doesn't like feel like Krypton. Like Man of Steel with like all the alien planets and the technology, it looked dramatically different. With this, I'm like, nah. That's the part where I really don't like it. And I wish that they wouldn't shy away from the sci-fi elements of the trailer. But other than that, the action scenes look great. And Kara's suit looks really good. Hang on, I'll get a good shot of her suit. Yeah, it's like, hang on. Let me see if I can get a good look at the suit. Hang on. And the suit should be seen in... Yeah, suit looks good. I like that suit. At least it won't be confined to Earth. Yeah, exactly. And this suit... Why does her suit look better than his suit? Why does Kara's suit look much better than Cal's? I don't understand this. Like, this is the biggest, like, the hell is going on? But anyway, that's like the interesting thing about this. So Supergirl get 330 and 30 create dislikes. Okay, so so it's like trailers can be gassed up. So it's like I don't really go off of likes or dislikes right now. But that's like the first things that like we're saying. I'm not liking the lines, but that's a small thing. That's a relatively small thing. Plus, it has to look similar to Clark's suit, and it looks like they're keeping that the suit is a Kryptonian bodysuit essentially. So I'm like, okay, that works. I like that. I definitely dig that. But yeah. So what else do you guys think about the trailer? Because frankly, it's like I wasn't impressed yet. There's some of it that I'm like, okay, that actually looks pretty cool. Some of the visuals. Obviously, I'm gonna see it and I will give it straight up a full-on like chance to impress me, because Superman impressed me. And who knows? It could end up to be really good. It really, really could. We'll see if it actually does that. But yeah, it could end up really making me feel good. And I would love to, because I like Kara a lot. At least I at least need another trailer without the 80s music. Yeah. That's the part, and the part that she also has a Walkman. That also makes this look like a ripoff Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm like, okay, can we stop with the constant references to Guardians of the Galaxy? Because this isn't a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So just saying. That's my big issue with it, where I'm like, if this isn't that, stop making it look like that. But besides that, besides all that, it looks pretty good. Hey, what's up, Hal Jordan? It's good you're here, because we're definitely going to talk about Lanterns. But so you were great in Lanterns, but yeah. Also, why is Kara using Wonder Woman's speech about truth? That was a Kara thing. That was in the Supergirl thing. That's not that speech itself is not a Diana. Diana's not the only one to make a speech about truth. So I'm gonna push back on that slightly. But yeah, other than that, it looked pretty okay. It looked pretty okay. Again, for Cameron's point, I need another trailer that actually feels like a trailer instead of just like that. Because it's like, if all this is just going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy light, that's going to be a problem. I haven't seen enough yet for me to be really concerned about this. So I'm not going to like sound the alarm bells with this. But so far, okay. It looks fun. It looks fun. Plus, again, I am putting I am invested in Supergirl, not just because I like the character, but because here's the thing. The same woman that's writing Supergirl is writing the Wonder Woman movie and the Titans movie. So the quality of the writing in Supergirl is directly proportional to what will be the quality in Wonder Woman. Hey, what's up? Sage? You said yourself Wonder Woman is the most important DC character because of what you. Yeah, but she's not the only one that has made a big. Plus, here's the thing. No, NJ. What the speech was Cal sees the good in people. I see the truth about people. So what that's implying is I see people are really crappy. That's not a Diana. That's not a Diana speech, though. So that is true. I appreciate that, but that's not necessarily a Diana speech. Supergirl tomorrow, Hal Jordan. Okay, yeah, it wasn't necessarily my thing, but glad you enjoyed it. And Robert's here, so let's play his intro. Which intro should I play? I figured that one was the most appropriate for this.
Sorry for being so late.
All right. So we're talking about Supergirl first. We're still on our first topic, so you're good. So
okay, yeah. I enjoyed the trailer for what it is. It actually makes me have at least a little bit of hope in it.
Yeah, and NJ, okay, so Robert, so NJ is disputing that Kara gave the speech of Clark sees the good in people. I see the truth about people. Okay. She's not literally talking about truth.
She's talking about, like, I see people for what they are. In other words, she's more closer to Batman than she is Clark.
I see crappy or Diana. But yeah, that's my point there. And then Sage Torres says, well, watch Supergirl trailer. Let's say I had mixed feelings on it. Gotta check out one tomorrow. Yeah. Now, bear in mind, and what's up, Sage? This doesn't mean that it's going to be a one-to-one translation of the book. Thank Christ.
Nope, definitely not. It's more taking. Here's something Jerry and I talked about off air once earlier today. The thing about it is, it's more taking Supergirl how she was from either Joe Kelly or New 52, but then they're steamrolling right to she's the fallen pop star kind of thing, where she's basically, here's what we think happened. I don't know if you mentioned this earlier. Supergirl, we're going to probably see Supergirl when she landed. Clark was trying to help her, do this, but they either butted heads, and she probably felt like, why? I was just supposed to take care of you, not help protect these people. Forget it, and left.
Yeah.
And yeah, she feels like these people aren't worth protecting.
And by the way, if you notice, so the other thing I brought up is, since her suit is very similar to Clark's, I'm going off. I believe we can all assume that they're keeping the idea that the suit itself is alien, that it's not like my mom made it for me.
Exactly.
Which that works for what you needed, because otherwise he would be doing costume changes way too much with how much that thing got torn up in like post-crisis.
Exactly, but
yeah, and then Cameron actually has a great way to translate that. I see, he sees the good in people, I don't. That's basically what she's saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's saying. And
the only problem I have is Krypton still looks kind of like see, here's the thing. It looks like any generic sci-fi city that we have seen in like The Expanse or like the Asimov
right
series. It doesn't look necessarily like Krypton.
True. Now I will say this: I am curious at the fact that they're going with the Argo City as opposed to Kandor.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And the other thing that I did like, again, and this is a line from the book. The Krypton did not die in a day. The gods aren't that merciful.
And my guess is it's going with the notion that she's counting Argo City as still representing Krypton.
Yeah, Cameron asked, Robert, would you say the party girl attitude fits Kara?
Okay, it works for early day Kara.
Yeah, like current Kara should not be a party girl at this point. She's matured.
Yeah, but early Kara, where she's trying to get over everything and feeling like okay, can I respond to NJ's comment? Actually, it goes along with what I'm saying.
Yeah, good.
I disagree with that, NJ, because if we're going with a Supergirl who just arrived, Woman of Tomorrow is the most logical follow-up with what New 52 or Joe Kelly's Supergirls both started with. Rather than her being right out of the box, being just like her cousin, she would be a bit more of a bratty, party girl teenager who feels like, I was just sent here to watch and raise my cousin. I wasn't sent here to protect no humans.
That's the thing, because what's the timeline of when the book takes place? Is this current Kara? Well, current at that time.
That's the downside with Woman of Tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying, because if he had put this let's say she has been on Earth for like a year or so in her early career, and then she goes off and has a space adventure, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with this.
Actually, I don't think he specified when it took place. It was just editorial around him treated it as current.
Well, regardless,
which I don't blame him for that. Then, if that's the case, where he just wrote the story and editorial chose,
he should have established that if he's going to do drunk Kara or like party girl Kara, that is the vast opposite of the way she's acting now. You could, again, if you have this as like past Kara when she first got here, because that's the problem, because he talked about how like, oh, it's like Kara dealing with like the trauma of Krypton. She dealt with that already.
Exactly. Now, like I said, if it's editorial who made that decision, I don't blame him then.
No, I still do, because he could have included that.
He could. Okay, fair enough.
And Hunter, that's not a thing. That's not no one's. Let me put it this way, Hunter. That's not an organized thing.
No, it's not. There are some who are saying that because they want a grip, but it's not as bad as it has been in the past.
No, if they're bashing the book, the movie, they're calling it a Guardians of the Galaxy clone or something like that. Which, when you look at, like, she's in a trench coat, she has a Walkman, there's 80s music in the background, and she's a drunkard. That kind of they have a point there, but there's really no one besides the usual suspects bashing it because it's a woman.
Now, I would say this. When it comes to the Lara Croft Tomb Raider that was showing off and people are still saying she's mannish, then I would agree with that.
Please tell me no one's doing that.
Unfortunately, there are people, because they're still using that original design that they teased a couple years ago. People are still saying, proof that she's mannish.
She looks great.
Trying to tell these people, they say she looks like a dude.
What dudes are they looking at? Oh my God.
They're talking about how her jaw is and everything. I'm not kidding, dude. I'm not kidding.
Jawlines. That's what we're dealing with now. Jawlines.
And they say she has too much muscle.
Have you seen the crap she has to do?
Dude, I've tried telling people that as well, and these people are just like, nope, she looks like a dude. It's woke. She's going to be a trans.
Well, it's like, did you see Melanie Mack reacting to the trailer?
I did not.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
that's irrelevant, Hunter. What? How? Why are we talking about that?
Yeah,
I know it's early to say, but I hope at the end, Lobo and Kara are drinking at the end of the bar. That would be great. You know what I could see this being? Lobo, because Lobo has done this in the past. He ends up teaming up with Kara at the end.
Right.
Because don't tell him you made this big deal about Momoa playing Lobo, and you're just going to make him a brief cameo thing. Like, Robert, correct me if I'm wrong. Remind me, how long is that mercenary that was supposed to be Lobo in the book?
Not long.
Yeah, so I'm like, you can't cut that out.
Yep. But okay, I know why he's talking about that, right? Why Hunter brought it up, because that's Gwen from Spider-Verse.
But we're not talking about Spider-Verse.
I know. And Kate Bishop from Hawkeye. I know. It's still off topic.
Yeah, exactly. But it's and when have we ever talked about the private lives of people?
Right.
Speaking of the story, do you think we'll get Supergirl Fire Wings?
That's the Matrix Supergirl.
Yeah, that's not that.
And that's when she's an Earth Angel. That's when she's an Earth Angel.
That would be cool, though. That would be very cool.
But no.
But yeah, there's no way they're going to do they're going to also have Matrix Supergirl in this universe.
They're avoiding her. They're avoiding her.
That would be not only that would be way too confusing for people.
Yep.
He better not be. Oh, you and me both. You and me both. Do you think we will get Dog? You mean Crypto?
We've already seen him.
Well, he's in the trailer, or if maybe Comet the Superhorse. Do you think Power Girl is stronger than the original Supergirl? Equal. She is equal.
Okay, I would say this: Power Girl might be stronger because she's more experienced in how to use her abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lobo's dog. Maybe.
Wait, Lobo has a dog?
Oh yeah, dude. Hold on, I'll get an image.
Wow.
Hold on.
That would actually be really cool. I would really like that.
Yep. Got him. Hold on. Let me get the image.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. You might recognize him when I show it. Come on. This guy.
Mm-hmm. That looks like a dog Lobo would have.
And we saw a dog during it was during Jeff Johns' Green Lantern.
Yeah,
right after Blackest Night.
NJ asked the question. I was wondering, what are the odds they eventually go? I don't think it'll be the end of this movie, NJ. I think that that could be like in a Supergirl 2 or like a future movie or something like that.
Yeah, it'll probably happen, just not anytime soon. I think they're going to want to have her change her ways and just have that anger be there, kept there, but not explode yet.
Well, here's the thing. They need to introduce the Red Lanterns before they could do that. Let's face it. Let's remember that.
And answer Dawn about the Space Dolphin. No, he loves Space Dolphin. He doesn't have him as a pet.
Yeah, and now I need a scene of the dog and Crypto going. That would be so good. Tevia says, speaking of the movie, what other planets will we see in this movie since the movie's based off a storyline? I don't know.
Now, I think they're going to try and keep it to worlds where they're not going to be so special effects heavy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I personally feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
especially if what Gunn is true and they're keeping it under 200,000 million. Yeah, probably.
Hunter says, do you think we will get the Legion of Heroes and superheroes in the future? I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Not for again. I know he's asking like a Supergirl has the ties to them. Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. I don't think so. I really don't.
Let's get the rest of the world off the ground first.
Yeah. You don't want to overload people. Okay, hear me out. Would you guys want a brief, and I mean brief, mention of Apocalypse or save that Superman or Justice League movie? No.
Gunn has already made it clear where he stands on that anyway. He wants to take a breather.
Yeah, Lobo riding a space dolphin because Jason loves the ocean. That would be dope.
That would be.
Personally, I'm not a fan of Angry Kara. Maybe at first because we're past, but not a future movie. Yeah, I think that this will resolve it, but she will have a like underlying anger that kind of starts off her arc, and then maybe the Red Lantern's experience is when she has the transformation.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what little that Reaper we see of Momoa's Lobo was perfect.
He looked great. It's like that is. We have yet to have a bad live action Lobo.
Now, all the way back to the original fan film.
Yeah, we have yet to have a bad Lobo.
By the way, the guy who played him in the fan film, that's the guy who played Chip, the son of Chip Shrek in Batman Returns.
Oh, really?
Yep, the son of Max Shrek.
Yeah, and then John says, "I'm not saying this movie, but a Lobo movie showing his daughter."
Crush.
Yeah,
I wish they did that show. I wish they did that cartoon show. Did you see the artwork for it?
Yeah, by the way, Tammy brings up a great point. The Krypton show had a great Lobo as well. They even did his healing thing.
Yep.
Yeah, a Krypton Lobo was crap, though. Why, NJ?
Why?
And by Robert, we should do a Super Pal episode on Krypton, by the way. Can you
I've never watched it. I have
Yeah.
not watched it.
Well, Hunter, we can't do that because they're not going to introduce Power Girl in this and have the confusion of, is she Earth 2? Is she the same person as Kara? They're not going to be able to do that.
No, they're not. They're not. If anything, they'll probably be much closer to DCAU where it's in name only.
Yeah, Galatea or something like that.
Yep.
Or eventually we'll get like a like Earth 2 movie where it's Power Girl for that.
Remind me, you did see elements of that Lobo cartoon and Crush cartoon that never got made, right?
No.
Hold on.
But yeah,
this would have been so good.
Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh, that would have been dope.
All right, there's more. There's more.
That's actually really well done.
Oh, look at this.
Wow.
And this would have been R-rated.
Why didn't we get this?
It just got canceled. It was in development for a couple of years, and then they just dropped. I think it got dropped around the points of they were shelving a lot of HBO Max exclusive shows.
Okay, I see what happens. That's why we also never got a follow-up to that really crappy Aquaman animated show.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm like, why was that ever a thing?
I don't know.
Due stupidity. So let's talk about some Green Lantern, shall we?
What so far looks like that teaser is truly the only thing we're getting.
That was hilarious. I said 4 p.m., but then it's like, oh no, that's all we're getting.
And even John Campea was a bit annoyed at that.
Yeah. Now I will say, the scene where Hal just puts the ring on the dashboard and drives the car off a cliff, essentially throwing John into the deep end, is such an experienced Hal Jordan thing to do.
Exactly. Not early Hal.
No, even though, no, Hal would do that himself because he's that much of a crazy guy.
But doing it as a mentor, only experienced Hal. Younger Hal would be more traditional.
Also, I love the Green Lantern ring having a gold outline and stuff. That's actually really cool. And I like how the rings look different, like they do in the comics.
And I think this is meant to add a little bit more that these might be the Earth One outfits because of how the rings look.
Yes, and again, Robert and I were talking about this because the thing about the Earth One suits.
Hold on, I'll get an image. I'll get an image.
Yes, please, because the Earth One Green Lantern suits are perfect for live action because they're really because they look like body armor or like flight suits. It's very easy to make those practically because part of what the Green Lantern movie did wrong was everything was CGI. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. That is really easy to do live action.
Yeah, like this suit.
Yeah, that is very easy to look good, and that looks great. And you can.
And it keeps the green to the aura, not the suit.
Well, I'm sure they'll have a green suit as well, but the point is, for that principle, that's like the best suit that they could have for like a Green Lantern. Yeah,
look at that. Look at that.
Green.
Yep, that's true. But I think that's from the aura, and the white is amplifying it.
It could, but no, actually, you see
No.
in a news thing, it's the suit.
Yeah, but when he powers down, it's white.
No, I think that's light green.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very lightish green.
I can barely tell.
Anyway, the point is that suit looks perfect for live action because it's relatively easy. Anyway, so the other things, Hal could use a shower or two in the trailer. Yep, but and by the way, Don J, I liked I liked that Green Lantern movie. I'm just gonna tell you that right there.
I enjoyed it too. I just feel that any of the flaws were from the choice of Parallax. I'm sorry, I have to agree with Pika's video on that one. That wasn't Parallax.
Yeah, that part I can't defend. I'm sorry, but essentially astronaut lanterns, yes, Hunter. But other than that, see, the thing that I really dig about that I thought about, and again, it's only like 11 seconds, so it's not that much to talk about. But again,
But they gave us a lot right there.
Yeah, they gave us a lot right there, and it's really so. Apparently, Robert and I were also talking about so that they could introduce that because so far the lanterns that we know exist are Guy, Hal, and John. Now, I was thinking because what the plot of Lanterns is they're trying to solve like a mystery essentially. So I thought, okay, they're trying to solve a murder. Who is a Green Lantern whose origin is very associated with a murder?
Simon?
Jessica Cruz.
Oh, Jessica, right.
So I'm like, what if the story of Lanterns at the end, like maybe the post-credit teaser sting is Jessica gets the ring?
Maybe.
That would be really cool. Did they time travel? It seemed a lot like in the Middle Ages. No. In that iteration of the Green Lanterns, in that world, it's armor. I mean, it's meant to look like armor.
Yeah, now, I will say this. Personally, when it comes to what's going to be happening with within the show and everything, one, can we agree to this? I do have a strong feeling that Tom King, it's going to be his plot, but the showrunner's executing it.
I hope so.
That's what I personally think, because a lot of because again, King is not the showrunner. If he was to be the showrunner, they would have given him that title.
Mm-hmm.
We agree to that at least. Like if he was to be the showrunner, he would have had the title.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so in terms of like, but yeah, so in terms of like that teaser, I wish there was more. Don't get me wrong, I am kind of bummed that that's all we got.
I think there's going to be something else coming out soon. It's just that for whatever reason claiming, oh, there's going to be something else today. They could have been also talking about how that bit that combined all the clips they showed the past few days into one video.
Yeah, that's true. But overall, Lanterns, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely interested to see how does that work out at the end, and obviously we'll be covering that. So overall, I have more of a stake in Supergirl for obvious reasons. But anyway, so let's move on to we got quite a few things. So it was the Game Awards and a few things that they brought up. So let's talk about Lego Batman.
Yep.
All right. So let's talk about this. So first off, I want to say, because I keep seeing this. No, the Lego Batman trailer did not snub the Snyderverse. Okay, here's the thing. People are asking, why didn't they have any Ben Affleck stuff? I'm like, the Batmobile is playable in the game, so you better not as DLC, as in-game stuff. One second, Robert. You better Batfleck never got his own movie. If he got his own movie, he would have a thing in there. Now, they could take elements from Batman versus Superman, like using like a giant suit to fight, like, let's say, Bane, if you will. And like the Batmobile chasing to get like a dirty bomb. They could easily do that. And then you could also have like the warehouse fight. But Robert, what'd you want to say?
How's that? What are these people explain? What from the Snyderverse can they pick? I want to know what these people are thinking is being missing.
The other thing.
Am I right?
Yeah, the other thing is you realize this is just a trailer, right? There's not much that like they could include.
Exactly.
So it's like it's just a trailer. Just guys, stop. I guarantee you they'll eventually have the BVS Batmobile soon in a trailer. And then what are you guys gonna say? Oh, they don't have his suit?
And that's it. What scenes exist that they can do it in?
Again, it's just because again, this game is just supposed to be strictly to Batman characters.
Exactly. So the only thing they can use are anything with Batman Alfred. Can we agree to that?
Mm-hmm.
The warehouse fight and the Batmobile chase.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Batman portion of the Nightmare.
Nightmare, I don't think so, because that's tied to.
I'm going with the outfit. I meant the outfit. The outfit.
The outfit, yes. And by the way, here's the thing. You pointed this out when the trailer played. I bet you their Alfred is the Snyderverse Alfred.
Yeah, he comes off like it. He comes off like the Iron's Alfred.
Yeah, exactly. I swear, if he goes, if he basically says that, like, don't worry, you're not dying, but not for want of trying.
Mm-hmm. If
we had that Batman movie, it would have had a Lego version, but at least we have his Batmobile. And I guarantee you we'll have his suits. Again, they can't tell you everything that's going to be in the game. But regardless, I do like how, because now we also learn that there's going to be like DLC missions.
Joker and Harley, yeah.
And apparently all the side content is going to be like 15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Not counting collectibles.
Yep.
So I'm like, this is the biggest Lego game I think ever.
Probably second to Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
And NJ, we all wish Dispatch won more.
I think they're gonna get more nominations next year.
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, that was the biggest surprise. Well, it's like all the Lego Batman content, because we saw the Robins that are going to show up, and the fact that not only is there a DLC pack for the Arkham series, but the beginning of the game is straight up Arkham Asylum's opening, bringing the Joker to Arkham Asylum.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that is, and you're in the Tumblr as well. I'm like, oh, that is clever. I like that.
Yeah.
That is really well.
Now, here's the thing. I think what is going to be set midday, and whatever, we're going to rewind back and forth.
Yeah, I would say so. And I think that, like, let's say the catching up point is going to be the boss battle against the Joker that's basically taking place during Dark Knight, where you capture the Joker. And
exactly.
The fact that it's like the Tumblr and the Heath Joker is what indicates that to me.
Exactly.
But overall, the Batman trailer definitely has me hyped because it looks really, really interesting. And we'll see. Speaking of games, how do you feel about Clay Obscure winning Game of the Year? I don't have really an opinion on that.
Well, it now has the record now for most games. It has the record now, beating out Last of Us Part 2 for 7 wins. It had 9 wins.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So finally somebody took Last of Us Part 2 went down a peg.
Suck it, Druckmann. but go back to
okay, wasn't this made by some people who work for Naughty Dog, or am I thinking of a different company?
Someone else. How many? This would be the 4th.
No. 5th.
Yeah, it's like, if you're talking about strict Lego Batman, 4. But if you're talking about DC games, 5.
Yeah.
Because remember, we have.
Because I count it.
All right. I guess we can count that. That is fine. Any news on Wolf Among Us Season 2, SNJ? Nope.
Trust me, I've been watching Dom the Bomb. If he hasn't heard anything, no one's heard anything.
Also, Deadpool is coming to Marvel Rivals.
But you know what, though? Originally, it was supposed to be Xavier.
So, would he be in the wheelchair?
No. Him from the Krakoa era.
Okay. I'm glad they
went. So him with the helmet and everything.
I'm glad they went. I don't like that Xavier, so I'm glad they went with Deadpool. And the Deadpool design is pretty good. And then Elsa Bloodstone is the other character that they're going to have. And that's an interesting character to, like, include. It was only a matter of time because she's in practically everything from all the Marvel games. But yeah. So yeah, there was like a ton of really interesting.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, Resident Evil. All right, so let's talk
Mega
about
Man.
let's talk about the other thing. So they're making a spiritual sequel to Knights of the Old Republic with Corey Hudson and control. Yes, please. And for those that don't know, Corey was one of the creative leads. Casey Hudson was one of the creative leads behind the original KOTOR games.
The first one, not the second one. That was someone else, but yeah.
So, yes, like and we got confirmation that the remake of KOTOR 1 is still happening. Thank God.
Yep. And it talks about them you know what game that got me hyped?
What?
Control Resident.
What's that?
That's a follow-up to Control, part of the Remedy universe.
Oh, Control. Yeah. I think I have. I can get that on Game Pass.
Yep, that looked good. Mega Man 2 Override. That is officially the 12th game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm just geeky about all those announcements.
There were a
Diablo
lot of
4?
Hmm?
Diablo 4?
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Is it going to piss people off with its seasons past? I remember people were pissed off about that.
What did you see about the Street Fighter teaser?
I didn't watch it, but it looks a Street Fighter movie. The minute they started making a Mortal Kombat movie, you know they were making a Street Fighter.
One downside.
What?
Why does this Chun-Li have such small twigs for size?
Here's the problem with that, Robert. No one exists today that has.
That can do. I know. I'm joking.
Unless you use prosthetics. By that logic, they ruined Cammy then.
True.
And watch. And Robert, you know the other reason why her thighs aren't as thick? The movie went woke.
No, not when you have Jason Momoa as Blanca.
No, I know. You know I'm making a joke, right? I know I'm trolling.
Yeah.
You know they're gonna say it's woke. I'm like, unless you put steroids into someone's thighs, they're not gonna get that thick.
That's true. I know. But I rewatched it. The action does look good with her kicking, like her holding a guy up against the wall with her legs.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
But I'm sorry, but we gotta still make the joke at least, right? Like, hey, that doesn't look that thick.
Yeah, exactly. And Cameron said he's definitely seen the movie day one. We also got rumor that Brad Pitt is joining the Batman Part 2.
Really?
As an antagonist, Dr. Arkham.
Oh.
If that's who the villain's going to be, I could see him doing that.
Oh, they might go the Black Mask route.
Ooh, interesting.
When he became Black Mask after Battle for the Cowl?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Akuma has a mustache. Yep, there you go.
Oh, by the way, what do you think about the fact that in the Hitman games we're now going to have Mila Jovovich as one of the elusive targets?
Yeah, don't tell her husband. He'll make a crappy movie about it. What are your thoughts on the Street Fighter cast saying Mortal Kombat does not care about you? They said that?
They did, but then the guy who's working on it, I forget his name, Todd something, came out and said, at least I don't have to put you guys down.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a stupid way to like promo your movie. You're like, let's crap on the competition, bro. Really? Question.
Although to be fair though, that is going back to the old back and rivalry the two had.
Yeah, Larry and Stewart's. I know Divinity.
That trailer looked disturbing.
I never really played those. Dr. Arkham. Now that could be interesting, especially since Martha is in Arkham. Yes, that's right.
Oh, right.
That means
which they're keeping from Earth 1.
So you know what that means? It's like maybe Arkham is like Batman's illegitimate. It's like Batman's grandpa,
or brother, or uncle. Uncle.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that is very interesting. And I think Brad Pitt could play a villain so well. I really do.
Apparently, with Invincible Versus, they're coming up with an original character who's essential for the story.
Oh, okay. That's something I could see them doing. That's something I think we could do. That'd be fun. And then,
Star Wars Galactic Raiders.
NJ says, I don't think we'll see Poison Ivy in the Batman 2 because Powers is a big no-no. Not necessarily Powers, but Powers like that?
No. They're going back to original Poison Ivy where she just would seduce men and have deadly kissing.
Yeah. By the way, here's a better look at Supergirl Lobo. Yeah, well done. Well done.
Hell yes!
Well done.
They took the image and brightened it up, didn't they?
Yeah, nailed it. That is definitely Lobo.
And Momoa was born to play this. His hair alone.
Wow, and his personality. Yahoo!
My man.
Yeah, exactly.
A frag.
The main man, the bastich.
Hey, seriously, I cannot wait to hear him speak.
I gotta say, I'm excited for the movie just for him. And forget Kara. For him, I want to see his logo.
Frag.
Yeah, exactly. I also want to see, it'll be hilarious. She carries him by his hair because his body blows up.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's just like, hey, what's the big deal?
Like in God of War, he's hanging off her belt.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be really good.
You want to know who once voiced Lobo?
Who?
You remember Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Years ago.
Grim!
Oh, okay.
The voice of Grim, they're like, frickin' hey, he lied.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Lobo with a Jamaican accent.
I will say, one of my favorite Lobo moments is after Superman died in JLU, he showed up and wants to replace him on the Justice League.
Oh, yeah!
That was so funny. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff. So let's do a Q&A and drop below what you guys are the most excited for.
Oh, by the way, do you know that the Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis is actually a reimagining of the first game?
Okay.
Yeah, so they're working on both.
I'm fine with that. I'm definitely fine with that.
Yep. And again, I like her new design. I actually prefer
fine, okay.
It's a modernized version of her original look.
By that logic, Tomb Raider Legends made her look mannish by their logic.
I'm not. I wish I was kidding, dude. I wish I was kidding.
I just can't get over the chin. Now that determines what's a woman now. You know what that? Do you know what how that happened, Robert? They got called out so hard because the rest of her is perfect. They're like, chin. Pretty soon.
Here's the image I was talking about.
Well, Robert, pretty soon it'll be her ears. Her ears.
This image.
She looks feminine as hell. What are they talking about?
I don't know. They kept saying, "Oh, look, she looks like a dude."
What dudes are they staring at? What the hell?
I wish I know, dude. I wish I know. But this was the one that got everyone in it. Actually, no. It was what's her name? That one YouTuber, Melanie Max, said it, and everyone just took her word for it.
I swear. So she did a video of someone where she compared two different pictures of Lara Croft that looked the exact
identical
same. And then she's like, that one's too masculine. That one's fine. I'm like, they're the same picture.
You know what people were saying? You know what people were comparing the face here to? The Chris Redfield and the Leon. The Leon. They say she looks like Leon.
No.
I know, dude. I'm not kidding.
Also, how does she look in the game?
Let me go back to that. You can exit out from all I go look.
And then Hunter says, I'm excited for hints and other cameos. Yep, that's true. That is gonna be. I think they're gonna keep it very like grounded in terms of which cameos they bring in, though, Hunter. But yeah, it will be kind of cool to see some stuff. Speaking of the Game Awards, how do you feel about another one announcing Injustice 3 because some people weren't happy about it? I'm totally fine with it because I hate Injustice. I think it should die a painful death. She looks fine.
She looks fine.
And I mean fine in both ways of using the word fine.
Yep, and look at her here.
The hell? And NJ, kind of. She's basically like a Barbara Minerva if Barbara was actually a good person, not written by Greg Rucka.
Nope.
She looks fine, Robert.
I agree.
When I saw her, I'm like, there's no way they could find anything wrong with this. They did.
They always do.
See, this is why I never did the whole woke thing. Because here's the problem with that. You have to keep them reaching. Woke. Her chin, her nose. Robert, her eyelashes. Her eyelashes are masculine. Oh my gosh, Robert. Her hands. She has man hands. Like
man hands.
Yeah, the hands. The hands of a man. But yeah, so
I'm sorry. It's just. I just.
Why do so many people? Tavia, it's for clicks. It's for clicks and views. That's what it is. When someone like Melanie Mack has the reputation of like evaluating like Tomb Raider stuff, and then like always being critical of everything that gets put out with Tomb Raider, you have to keep that trick going.
I say about Melanie, she is becoming worse than what's her name, the one everyone said ruined gaming.
Anita Sarkeesian.
She's worse.
I was watching a debate with them where they were debating someone up that was because I think they had said at one point that like all games are bad, but someone was like debating him on that, and she kept repeating the same points: wokeness. They're pushing identity politics in our games. Wokeness. And the person's like, okay, show me. And then it's like she tried to reach, and he goes, "How is that woke though?" I love Act Man because Act Man is like, okay, so wokeness is about forcing politics into games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you explain like Fallout New Vegas, where it basically like the Roman Empire and stuff? I'm like, oh,
thank you.
That capitalist thing. You see how easy it is to turn your own grift against you?
Exactly. Now, was there a point where they went out of control? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we're beyond that. But let me put it this way. Do those games still exist? Yes. But it's like, is it as bad as it was back then? No. And I'm like, no. That's why. And again, here's the thing. That's why I never went into the anti-woke crowd, because here's why. If you do that with content, you have to keep that itself is a ticking time bomb that inevitably that bubble is going to pop, and people are not going to want to say, oh, everything's bad.
Exactly.
Then what can we watch besides the old stuff?
Exactly.
Stuff. And I go, I could say your stuff is woke.
Exactly.
But Ted says, yeah, show us evidence. Yeah, they really have no evidence. And Britt brings up a good point, because the thing about wokeness is that it was supposed to be like, okay, you are aware of like the social implications of this stuff. Yeah. And it got co-opted by a bunch of people that wanted to force their stuff in. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like nowadays that word has lost all meaning.
Uh-huh.
It just gets really annoying after a while. And then NJ brings up a good point. It seems some of these people haven't actually seen a woman before, huh? Do they get out? Or I have no idea, because yeah, it's like Laura's chin looks fine. Okay. I still, that's a mind blown thing, Robert, where that is a deciding factor.
I wish I was making it up, dude. I really wish I was making it up.
Oh my God.
I really, truly wish I was making it up, dude.
But anyway, what questions do you guys have about anything we talked about tonight or DCU stuff? Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's like when I saw it, I was a little concerned about how's Laura going to look. Then she walks out and I go, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, this is the problem. You'll never be able to make people happy. That's the thing.
Never.
But yeah, but anything you guys want us to talk about, and then we'll get out of here. But by Fate of the Old Republic, it looks really good. Now they're saying it's not necessarily a direct sequel to the original KOTOR, which it doesn't have to be, because
it's probably a tie-in to. It's going to probably be. Here's what I think it is. I think it's a retelling that's going to fit into the current continuity.
So you mean it's essentially KOTOR 1, but canonized?
Yes, that's what I think. It's not a remake, because you can't really have it be a remake. It's going to be a redo.
And then NJ says, "Do we still get Paradise Lost alongside the Wonder Woman movie?" Yes. The Wonder Woman movie is not replacing Paradise Lost; they're both being developed, which I think is a great idea, by the way. And Tevia says, "New question. Speaking of Game Awards, besides the game that was announced, how do you feel about Leon Kenny being in Resident Evil 9 with a chainsaw?" Yep. I'm fine with that.
Apparently, it's been confirmed they're going to be both the playable characters. You're going to switch back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I like that. That's interesting. And apparently each one is going to have two different tones where Leon is going to be the more action heavy, like.
Oh, it's going to be right. So it's Resident Evil 6 done right.
Yeah, that works. They should introduce the Green Lantern villains like Star Sapphire or Major Force. I don't think Star Sapphire is going to be a villain at this point anymore. She hasn't been a villain since.
Well, they could have someone else as her.
No, but here's the problem with that. It's like there's only really been one character going by Star Sapphire that's been a Green Lantern villain.
True.
I think that, and plus the Star Sapphires are good now. You can Jeff Johns made it so they can never be like real villains. During the Game Awards, we do also get a new Mega Man game. True, I'm not really a Mega Man guy, but hey, happy for you guys.
I'm happy. I'm excited.
That is fun.
By the way, before I got on, I was recording. I'll show this when we get to what we have coming up.
Yeah, exactly. But any other content that you guys would like to talk about? Anything that was announced, anything at all, and then we'll.
New game that came out today that I count that's sci-fi related.
Which is
not count. Terminator 2D, No Fate.
It came up in my Xbox recommendations. It's good.
Oh hell yeah! It's the game we should have gotten in the 90s.
Yeah, Barry. Do you think the Green Lanterns are more powerful than the Nova Corps? Yep.
No question.
No, absolutely no question. Absolutely no question. Because the Green Lantern power scales based on your willpower. The Nova Corps don't. Because that's what you can get like Hal Jordan, who has the powers of a god. But then it's like with the Nova Corps, there's like a relative cap on the powers, if I remember correctly.
Right.
But yeah, no question. No question.
Well, if you're gonna, yep.
Yeah, but any other questions you guys have, and then we will roll out. Just let us know, and then but anyway. So Robert, what project that we talked about tonight are you the most excited for?
Ooh, Lego Batman.
Yeah, me too. Do you want to see Atrocitus in the show?
Oh yeah.
And they cast someone that could be Atrocitus, so I'm like, okay, yes, I want to see that because. That's a good way to like short and go, yes, there are other Lantern Corps besides Green, instead of like having to wait to do the War of Light before we can do like Sinestro Corps War or even Blackest Night.
Right.
And let's see. Anybody on Total War going to Warhammer 40K?
My one downside was that ever since the company decided to go all heavily overpriced DLCs for the third Warhammer game, it's been an annoyance.
Well,
they've been doing games that are like 20, 30 bucks for something that should be $5.
Well, here's the thing, Robert. The actual models are overpriced, so it fits with the theme. And Barry NJ says, "Are you guys a fan of the Life is Strange games?" Tris says, "I'm not real. I've never played them."
I am.
Are they fun? Are they good?
If you like that type of adventure games.
Let me put it this way, Robert. Do you think it would be a me type of game?
No.
Okay, good. I figured.
All right.
Any opinion on the new Super Mario Galaxy trailer?
Hey, I'm excited for that movie, and I gotta say, Brie Larson surprised me how well she's able to act in it.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's like Megan Fox surprised me with FNAF.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll give you that.
I'm not kidding you. She did a great job.
Yep. I'll give you that. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. So in terms of Comics League, movie night's going to be on Sunday. But Super Wonder Legacy, Brent Art can be comparing Superman and Wonder Woman to John Carter and Deja Thoris from John Carter of Mars. Amazon Answers, I'm going to be talking about the DCAU Wonder Woman. Super Pals, we're going to be talking about BMB Superman, Robert's favorite film.
You think his guy gets mad at Tom King's Wonder Woman? You ain't heard nothing yet.
For those let me give you guys a good analogy. BMB Superman is to Robert what Tom King's Wonder Woman is to me.
That's why
That's
you said
give you an indicator.
You think this guy gets mad? You haven't seen Mad. You not.
That will be this will be the greatest Super Pals episode we've done.
You're gonna have to be bleeping me throughout it.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. And we can hear another bad depiction of Lois. Because remember, she went on an adventure, left like within like a couple of days, I think. Showed up, stayed on Earth.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to. Don't get me wound up.
We will.
Can I show you? Can I show you what I worked on right before I got on?
Sure, go ahead.
This will be my Christmas, either day or EPTN. On.
Ooh.
That's the daughter of Santa, made by Paul Dini.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep, that's my plan one. That's going to be something I'm going to do every Christmas going forward.
That works. I like that. That's a cool idea.
That's what I want to think that coming up. Plus, I'm getting close to 650 when I go over Dan Slott, Silver Surfer, and then 666 where I go over iZombie. And as I said before, pretty much a Mike Allred gush fest.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and by the way, one more thing, Athena is still funding. It ends next Saturday. And again, if we don't get funding this Saturday, I'll just relaunch it. And if all you guys that backed it, if all of you guys just back at the exact same level when I reopen the campaign, guess what? We will be funded instantly because I'm gonna put it at like a K, and we're already past that. So go ahead and do that. I'll play the trailer for Athena before the outro, but stay heroic. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane, and Steve Trevor, Steve Never. She belongs to General Zod. He belongs in the bottom of a hydraulic press. Zoe Maxive out for life. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Supergirl, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.